Hello dear students, welcome back again. Today we are going to deal Political Science Standard 8, lesson number 3. Why do we need a parliament? See, why do we need a parliament? Now, our country is a democratic country. After 15th August 1947, all we are enjoying different type of rights. Okay, for that we have written constitution, and according to constitution our country is administered by various political parties. Now today we are going to discuss that what is the reason that the highest system, that parliament we require, that we are going to discuss. Now before starting actual lesson, let me explain you. Here we will try to understand the relation between the ideas of participation in decision making and need for democratic governments to have consent of their citizens. See, what we are going to try to understand: participation in decision making. In decision making, first thing. Second thing, need for all democratic governments to have the consent of their citizens. Second thing, consent means permission. Consent of their citizens. See, participation of people in decision making. Second thing, consent of their citizens means, see, today whatever the party have established their government in the parliament, it is not by their own willingness. It is just because of common people. The way people given their vote or casted their vote, according to that, whatever the results we got, that party is going to set up the government. Now, in this chapter, what we are going to see, we will try to see how the parliament enables citizens of India to participate in decision making and control the government. Again, the same thing. What the decision making and control of the government. Control of the government. Now see, control of government, it does not mean that every now and then the rulers are going to ask people. The meaning of this control of government, which type of government or which party will rule, that decision will take by people. The meaning of that line is that is thus making the most important symbol of Indian democracy a key feature of constitution. Now let us move to the point that why we required parliament. See, before 1947, when our people, common people, participated in freedom struggle, Britishers were ruling our country and common people were not having any permission to ask British rulers. Okay, let us see. People from various backgrounds joined the struggle and they were inspired by the ideas of freedom, equality and participation in decision making. See, what were the things? Ideas of freedom. See, what were the things inspired people? The ideas of freedom. Second thing, equality. And the last, participation in decision making. See, many common people were involved in the freedom fight, and under colonial rule, the people had lived in fear of the British government and did not agree with many of the decisions they took. Whatever the decisions taken by the British government, number of decisions which were not liked by common Indians, and they never dare to ask questions. So in 1885, in 1885, Congress party they asked that Indian National Congress demanded they be elected members. What they asked? They asked for elected members in the parliament, and these elected members should have right to ask question. Okay, not only elected members, but they should have right to discuss about the budget. Second thing, they should have right to ask question. And according to the Government of India Act 1909 allowed for some elected representation. Okay, so we will discuss the next topic. Before that, we take down first 3 points. After that, these 3 points, and these 2 points about the Congress party. Now let us see Act of 1909. While these early legislatures under the British government were in response to growing the demands of the nationalists, they did not allow for all adults to vote for. Now see, they allowed to elect members, representatives for parliament, but they didn't allow each and everyone to vote. That was the problem. The next thing is, nor could people participate in decision making. Means everyone was not able to vote. Everyone was not able to vote. Second thing, no participation in decision making. No participation in decision making process. So this was what, like a dictatorship, one-sided government. Now let us see the experience of colonial rule as well as the participation of different people in the struggle for freedom left little doubt in the minds of nationalists that all persons in independent India would be able to participate in decision making. Means these nationalist people, they thought that every person from India, whether he is rich, whether he is poor, or whether he is belong to any caste and religion, he should be able to participate in decision making process. There should not be any discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, religion, or his economical conditions. Likewise that. With the coming of independence, we were going to be citizen of free country. This did not mean that government could do what it felt like. See, what was the thing? After 1947 means we have established the government, but government also has to follow rules and regulation, and that rules and regulations means they have to rule according to the constitution. Okay, meaning that government had to be sensitive to the people's needs and demands. The dream and aspirations of the freedom struggle were made concrete and constitution of independent India that laid down principle of universal adult franchising. Means all adult citizens of the country have right to vote. Now next point, that is the people and their representatives. People and their representatives. Okay. Now the takeoff point of democracy, the idea of consent. See, it is the decision of people that creates a democratic government and decide about its functioning. Now see, creates government and its functioning. Now creates a government means what? People cast their vote and their voting gives chance to particular political party to establish government. Second thing, the functioning of the government or the functioning of that particular party's government. It is not government of that particular party. It is government elected by the common people. The basic idea in this kind of democracy is that individual or citizen is the most important person, and that is the principle. In principle, the government as well as other public institutions need to have the trust of these citizens. Means government and administrative institutions, both they should have trust of common people. What we observe, if the common people are not going to believe in the present government, the next time government is going to change. One example we will see. Suppose now Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi from BJP. Okay, so what we can say, now we have government of BJP and Prime Minister is Narendra Modi. Before that, there was a government of Congress and President was Dr. Manmohan Singh. So when Dr. Manmohan Singh functioned or he was Prime Minister for 10 years, after that people felt that they need change in the government and they cast their voting for the BJP, and from that party they elect one member to become a Prime Minister. Again, when we have Lok Sabha elections in 2024, if common person or common people of India felt that they need to change the government, they can change government. And how they are going to change government? By their voting. By their voting. So first you take down these points. Now, in the next video, we are going to see the role of parliament. Okay, till now we have just tried to understand that why do we need a parliament. In a simple language, what we can say, parliament, in the parliament all MPs we have. These member of the parliaments are directly elected by the people. As you know, we have Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In Lok Sabha, MPs are directly elected by the people. MPs are directly elected by the people. That is the reason this house is having more powers compared to Rajya Sabha. And in Rajya Sabha, members are not elected but they are appointed in Rajya Sabha. So this house is more important because the common person has given vote for the Lok Sabha. And why parliament is important? Because these people, means the member of parliament, they are going to establish the government, and that government is going to rule for the welfare of the common people. Means for every citizen of India, decisions are going to make in the parliaments. So in detail about the functioning of the parliament we will see in the next video. Thank you.